Hi guys, welcome back to Casually Crafted. My name is Ashley and this is Crafty Chat number 83. So I think it's been about 3 weeks since my last video, so I apologize for that. Pretty sure I mentioned how the end of May / beginning of June is really busy for our family, and it was even extra busy this year because my daughter just got baptized over the weekend, so we had a lot of family coming into town and it was just a lot. So I finally have a minute to kind of show you what I've been working on, and I don't think it's a lot, but it took forever to get some of these things done just because I was doing it within all the other stuff that I needed to do. So I think I'll start with, I forgot to bring down my paper, what I've been working on. We can start with whips, I guess. And since last time, I don't even remember what I showed you in the last video, but my unfinished project that the spinny wheel picked for me was my giant bag that I'm making that started with the placemat. I started this a few years ago. I don't even know why, but it's a stitch sampler type thing. Anyway, so the only thing I did on this was I did some math to figure out where to add these holes. So I was right here, so I needed to add these holes, and then I'm kind of copying a pattern of a bumblebee backpack that I made a few years ago, as far as like how to make the flaps and stuff. So the stitch counts aren't the same, so I had to do some math to figure out how to get the drawstring holes to kind of line up, because it kind of folds like, I don't know if you can see that, it kind of folds almost into like little fourths, so it's not like all ruffled all the way around. It kind of folds flat like this. And then I started some rows back and forth to make the flap that goes over. So that's all I've done, and this isn't even a rope, this is a charging cable, because it's what I had in my room at the time when I was making sure that it was going to work the way it's supposed to work. So I do think it's a little off, like it's more this way. It's not like super lined up, but I don't really care because I just wanted to get it done. So that's all I'm going to do for this time, just because it is something I want to finish eventually, but there's other projects that have a higher priority to me, so I'm not going to stress about it too much. So that is that whip. I did spin the wheel again, and I got temperature blanket, which is good because that is my youngest temperature blanket. I do one from their birth to their first year, and she's 4.5, so I need to get it done, and I was really close to getting it done before Christmas. Then I realized I wasn't going to get it done, so I think I'm almost done as far as crocheting goes. I might have like a month left, I don't know. I'll have to look at it. But then I have all the ends to weave in, and that's when I knew, I was like, there's no way I was going to get it done because of all the ends, so I just stopped and made her something else quick for Christmas. Other whips, I don't have it with me right here because I don't actually know where I put it, is the granny top, granny square top by Joe's Web that I'm trying to make up based off of her videos. And so I made the 2 squares for this part and the 2 triangles for this part, and I kind of stitch marked them together, I don't know, and tried it on. So I have a little video of that, but I think I need to make them a little bit bigger, or somehow make the join like a join as you go type of thing, where you add more thickness to it. Mostly because like it fit, but it was also, the stitch markers allow for that wiggle room, and I don't want it to be too small, so I might go back around each one and add one more round and see how that fits. But obviously that hasn't been worked on for a little bit. This is a whip that I just randomly started the other day because my kids wanted to watch a movie and I wanted something to work on, but everything else was in a weird phase. And I got my yarn all tangled, so now I have to fix it, so I haven't done anything. This is Bernat Casa or something. It's weird. It basically, here, I'll show you on here. It basically is a yarn that goes from like the blanket yarn to the velvet to like homespun basically to fur, and then back to blanket yarn, then the velvet, then the homespunny type yarn. My original thought with this, I think I got it at one of those Mary Maxim kits when I was subscribed to that. I was gonna try to make some sort of like chevron pillow or something, but I could not see my stitches, especially with the fur. And that's actually why it's tangled, because I tried to go from the inside and it started with the fur on the inside, and then I switched, when I started this, I started on the outside because I wanted to be able to see what I was doing. So yeah, this is just the moss stitch, and I was just gonna go see how long it gets, and then maybe fold it in half and make it into a pillow or something. I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know. I might even like frog it, who knows. But I definitely need to untangle all this nonsense, so that'll be a project in and of itself. Here's all the fur from the inside. I'll just set that there for now. Okay, I think that's all my whips. So we'll do finished projects, I guess. So I kind of did a little detour for a second on some of my current things, because I had this idea. I saw on Pinterest or something this idea for like your turtley awesome for like a Father's Day gift, and it was just a picture. It was like a coloring page of a turtle that like the kids could color for their dads, and I thought it was cute. So I was like, well, I make these little turtles, and I sold some at my craft fairs, right? And the turtles were pretty popular. And I was like, well, what if I made different sizes of them? So I made one with the blanket yarn. And then I also made an acrylic one and put them on a keychain. Like how little. And so I posted these for like a Father's Day gift idea for sale, and nobody wanted any, but that's okay. But before I posted these, or after I posted them, but like a few days later or something, I was like, well, what about whales too? I don't have my middle-sized whale to show you, but I made one with Bernat blanket yarn, and then one out of acrylic. They're so little. So in the future, I might make more of these different sizes, like if I do that craft fair in the spring again, and maybe not do the whole bowl thing, because the bowls, like, they weren't as popular as the first year, so I don't know if people have just seen it enough that they didn't want another bowl of animal. But if they had like keychain versions or bigger, slightly bigger versions, that might appeal to more people. So I don't know, we'll see. So then I finished this rainbow guy, and his mouth isn't super great. But oh well. I think I like the side without the face better. But this was all using Premier Basics chenille, because I didn't have any good like purples in the Bernat blanket yarn, and so then I ended up just ordering all of it. 2 different times I ordered like these colors first, and then I was like, well, even though I have red, orange, and yellow in the Bernat blanket yarn, it's a slightly different texture. I feel like these are a little bit fuzzier looking when you're up close. So I ended up ordering all the colors. So this wasn't super hard. I mostly worked on this in the car when the kids were in school and I could wait for them. You're supposed to start with this long red strip here, but obviously since I started before I had the red color, I just started with the purple, and then so before I did the red on the edge, I did have to stop and do this long strip. And then you just kind of slip stitch it on all the way around. And there you go. I don't know. And then, so the spinning wheel for fall makes was bats. So this is what took forever. Let's see. I'll show you the first bats. These are the same bats that I made last year when I did the fall festival thingy, and they sold pretty well. So I made 5 of these, and these are in a pack on Etsy. So there's a whole bunch of different Halloween little critters. So I have a green one, a gray one, let's see, this teal one, and an orange one. Oh, his ears are squished. And what else do I have? I've got like 5 projects in this bucket. Oh, a purple one. And a purple one. So they're a little squished from having other things on top of them. But there's 5 of those. And if I do my fall festival this year, I will probably have to make more. Because they were pretty popular. Then I also wanted to make, I dropped one, dang it. Let's see. There, I thought I had made more, but maybe not. I wanted to make these little like bat applique thingies, and the idea is to put magnets on the back, and then you can like put them on your door or your fridge or whatever. So I have this one. I might have more in there, but I have this one in black, and that's just Mainstays cotton. And then I made these 2 in purple, and these are, I'm pretty sure I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby. And I'd probably make more. I don't know if they would sell, but I'd make more just for my house, because it's not like a hard pattern, but it is like you have to pay attention to what you're doing, because every few stitches you're doing something different. But really it's only like 3 rows around, 3 rounds. I don't know. So it's quick, but you just have to, it's a tutorial from, I think, Happy Berry Crochet, and I ended up just writing it down on a note on my phone, so I can just, kind of not have to watch it every single time. Alright, so then the last bats I made, this was a tutorial on, here on YouTube, and this one is definitely not a no-sew like the little ones are. I'll show you this. So this is a lot darker red in real life. This one is, I use a few different types of yarn. This one is one of those Hirschner's Holiday Velvets. So he's definitely not this bright, but you can at least see his face. So these, you start with the head, and then you actually close up the head, but then you attach the body, and then you make these little feet. I'm not sure if my feet were lining up exactly where they're supposed to, but then you make 2 ears and 2 wings, so you do have to sew those on. So they're not super even, if you can see that. On all of these, they're not super even. And then I just use little felt and glue them on. So there's that red one. This black one I know is a Yarn Bee something. So they're all basically like the 4-weight type of chenilles. So I gave him a red mouth because I knew you couldn't see his black mouth very well. This one is the original Parfait, Premier Parfait, so not chunky, just Premier Parfait. And he's a lot softer. I think his head's slightly crooked. And I don't know, his feet don't poke out as much. Maybe I did that weird when I was weaving in ends. I don't know. And then I made one more. And he's sparkly. His mouth is hard to see too. These two are both Yarn Bee Velvet Aran something, like a sparkle and a not sparkle. Yeah, so these kind of took forever because of all the sewing and stuff. Her pattern, she does show this body part is like striped 2 colors like it's a shirt, and then it goes on back to the head color. I just liked the solid ones that she showed. To me, the different colors didn't make it look like a shirt. It just, I don't know, reminded me of like Piglet in a way. So I just kept with the solids. So I will not be making any more of those. If I do the Harvest Festival and they sell, then they sell. Like, I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, so that is all my bats. And I spun the wheel again, and this time I got turkeys. So it's like all fall stuff. So it could be just fall in general, it could be Halloween, or it could be Thanksgiving. So this time I got turkeys. Not sure what I'm going to make for turkeys, but oh well. I do have this other project that I'm calling finished, even though I just realized I'm not finished because I have a million ends to still weave in. This is just a washcloth, but it is like a plaid, I guess. I started this, so I'm thinking of trying to enter into the county fair again this year. I didn't do it last year, but I did the year before. Last year just wasn't going to work with our schedule for either dropping stuff off or picking stuff up. We were going to be out of town one of those days. So anyway, I was looking through like all the lists of things that you could enter, and it like one's a washcloth, and I was like, sure, let's find a washcloth that I probably wouldn't make for myself because it's impractical to work that hard on a washcloth, and then see what we can do with it. So this is also, I think, Happy Berry Crochet on YouTube. She used like a 2 or 3 weight cotton, so I didn't do as many rows, so it's not exactly square. But if I went more, because you kind of do it in these chunks of color, if I had gone more than that, it would definitely have been more of a rectangle, so that's as close as I can get. But yeah, so I weaved in all the ends on one side. I still have all these on this side. And you basically leave these chain spaces here, and then you go back and add surface crochet to make this stripes this way. So it was weird, kind of. I think I messed up the first one I did. It wasn't as far. You can see like a space there compared to right here. So when I weave in the ends, I'm going to try to kind of hide that a little bit and see if I can get that to blend in a little bit. So we're going to call that done, but I do need to take this back upstairs and finish weaving in the ends. Okay, so I think that's everything besides acquisitions. I had completely forgotten about these. My mom was at Walmart and saw that they had these for $5, so she got them for me. And then when she came over the weekend, she brought them. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about those, so I think I still need to pay her for them. But these are just the Bernat Blanket tweeds, and this one is brown tweed, and this one is night tweed. So good colors for, like, at least this one could be like chickens. I don't know what else I would want to do with them, but we'll see. I think they had one other color, but it was more reddish, and I was like, I don't know what I would do with that. So, and then dropping stuff. I also went to Goodwill the other day, and they had a few bags of yarn again. And sorry, I didn't open it ahead of time. This one was $5 for this bag of all cotton. And there was another bag that had like all red and green and white and a pattern that was from Mary Maxim for like a hot pad or a washcloth or something. But this is all peaches and cream, I believe. Looks like it. So there's some white. Let's see how many. 2, 3. This one is sugar and cream, so not all peaches and cream. 4, 5. So 5 whites. 1 of this mint color, which is actually the lighter color that was in that washcloth. 2 of forest green. So 2 of those. 1 royal. This one feels like it's been a little more used than some of those other ones. This is a sugar and cream in the color something, rose pink. And then, I don't know what that is, a lighter pink. Scrap ball. And I think that's a red. It's hard to tell in this light, and my contacts are really blurry from staying up too late. So yeah, for $5, I thought that was a pretty good deal. I almost would have got the other one with the pattern in it, but I didn't want to spend $8 plus $5. I had to choose. So, yeah, I think that's everything. I do have a kind of a weird story about yarn stuff, I guess. So, I have a Facebook business page that I started. It looks like I was posting in like 2021, 2022. And I don't really post on there anymore because I then moved to a private Facebook group just for, basically just for locals who want to maybe buy my stuff. So I post stuff there first before trying to post it on like the classified pages or whatever. So Facebook apparently now does this thing where you can get business messages like through their messaging app. And I got this message from a random person, was like, hey, are you taking orders? And I was like, I mean, I guess, like, what are you interested in? And then she sends me a picture of a cake and was like, I need this type of cake for 20 people. I was like, well, you must have me confused with somebody else because I don't make cakes, I make crochet items. And then she comes back and has a picture of a market bag that I had posted and made, and was like, well, how much for this? So it's like, okay, well, that one has sold since I posted that in 2021. It has sold since then. And she's like, well, can't you remake it? It's like, okay, well, not exactly. Like, I don't have that yarn anymore. And so I could make it again, just in a different yarn. And then she was like, well, then what yarns are available? And so I got some cotton yarns out that I have that I could make that same market bag with. And I sent her a picture of the different colors, and I told her what the price would be, and like if she's not local, it would need to be paid for shipping. And I don't remember if I said I would want payment up front, but I was going to say that. I can't remember if I said it or not. And since then, she hasn't messaged me. So I'm like, just the whole interaction was just weird to me. And I don't know, I've never had like an Etsy shop or anything, so maybe this is just how people are. But for one, why would she ask me if I could make her a cake first? And oh, I forgot, I did ask her like where she heard of my business from or whatever, because obviously I haven't been posting on that page at all. And she said something about you came as a suggestion. Just like everything she said though was not like, there was no like manners, there was no, to me it almost seemed like not a real person, if that makes sense. Just the way everything was worded, and it just felt off to me. So she hasn't responded since I told her the price, and I actually told her a price that is $5 more than the price that I have been selling those market bags at, which I probably could sell them at that price. Right now they're only marked at 10, and I told her 15 because I was like, I'm not making a brand new bag for somebody who is being weird. So, and just the whole like cake thing threw me off. Like, why are you asking about cakes when I'm clearly not a cake person at all? So, I don't know if she was just hoping to get some information out of me or what. Like, it hasn't gotten that far, and she hasn't responded since I told her the price. So, not sure what's going on with that. It just felt weird. So, and anyway, if you know how to delete a Facebook business page, let me know, because I can't figure it out, and I would rather just delete it than or like have random people messaging me about stuff that I posted 4 years ago, you know? So, but I maybe I needed to do my computer or something, but my phone, I couldn't figure it out. So that was my probably boring but weird story for me. Yeah, I think that's everything. I've been, obviously, since I said I've been really busy, haven't watched like anybody's videos in the last probably 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm probably behind on a lot of what's going on in the YouTube world, so I apologize for that. And I could be missing projects that I started and haven't worked on because I've just been all over the place. So I guess I'll see what turkeys I want to make, get working on that temperature blanket, and then maybe find wherever I put the granny square top and get working on that a little bit more. So I think that is everything for now. So thanks for sticking around, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys.